Hey everyone, and welcome to this explainer on the Booty Safeguarding Educator Guide. When we normally think about teaching, our minds instantly jump to the usual stuff: whiteboards, lesson plans, grading papers late into the night. We think about imparting knowledge, right? But today, we're zooming in on a totally different dimension of an educator's life. We're talking about a journey that takes a teacher from being just an instructor to becoming a literal critical line of defense for the most vulnerable people in our schools. So let me just throw this out there right off the bat. What do you think is a teacher's most vital, yet entirely unseen responsibility? It kind of makes you stop and think, doesn't it? Because right beneath the surface of all those math tests and reading assignments, there's this hidden duty. It's this mysterious, almost invisible responsibility that totally flies under the radar when things are going great. But the second things go wrong, it becomes the absolute most crucial thing in the world. We're talking about protecting vulnerable learners from harm. It's the silent promise every single educator makes the moment they step into a classroom. And the name for that hidden duty? Well, it's safeguarding. If we're looking at this like a story, this right here is our core mission. The Booty Guide defines this as actively equipping educators to spot, stop, and ultimately deal with abuse, neglect, exploitation, and injury. The whole point? To ensure a genuinely safe learning environment. And listen, this isn't just some passive, good-to-have concept. It is an active, everyday practice. It's all about how having the right training can literally transform an ordinary, everyday classroom into a secure sanctuary where students can actually thrive without fear. Which brings us to the really profoundly human element of our source material today, the duty of care. This really highlights the moral and, frankly, the legal obligation to step up as a guardian, especially for those who just don't have a voice. The Booty Guide places a huge emphasis on early years education here. Just picture it. Young kids or even vulnerable adults who might completely lack the vocabulary or the understanding, or honestly, just the sheer courage to speak up and say what they're worried about. As an educator, your duty of care means stepping in to be that voice for them. It's a heavy responsibility, sure, but man, is it a noble one. Okay, let's dive into this a bit deeper. If these vulnerable individuals literally cannot voice their fears, how on earth do we spot those invisible threats? Well, this is exactly where an educator has to shift gears and become part guardian, part detective. You've got a room full of students, and you really have to learn to see beyond the obvious. You need to identify those subtle, unseen dangers that might be harming your students completely out of your view. It takes a highly specific set of skills and a really trained eye to step into the unknown and confront what's deliberately being hidden. So consider this your essential field guide. We're not just scanning the room for the really obvious physical health changes or, unexplained injuries with stories that just don't add up. We have to look way deeper at the psychological side of things. Imagine a kid who is normally super boisterous and loud, and suddenly they're just incredibly quiet and withdrawn. We have to keep an eagle eye out for sudden changes in behavior or emotions. We're looking for that sudden retreat from friends, dropping out of favorite activities, or any physical evidence of neglect. These clues, these tiny little puzzle pieces, are often the only way the silent conflicts these students are battling will ever see the light of day. Catching these signs, that's step one in literally saving a life. All right, so you spot a threat. What's next? Usually, when we hear words like legislation and policies, our eyes just glaze over, right? We think of boring, bureaucratic red tape, but the Booty Guide flips the script on this entirely. I want you to think of institutional guidelines and child protection laws not as endless paperwork, but as a literal shield. It's the protective armor you wear into battle. These policies exist to give you the legal backing, the ultimate authority, and the exact step-by-step protocols you need to stand firmly between a vulnerable learner and whatever harm is coming their way. So how exactly do we strap on that armor and put it to work? The source material gives educators a crystal clear tactical battle plan. Step 1, proactively maintain a safe and inclusive learning environment. Think of this as your preventative maintenance. Step 2, identify those specific safeguarding concerns and warning signs we just talked about. And step 3, strictly follow the official reporting procedures. You absolutely do not have to fight this whole crisis on your own. You intervene early and you use the system that's built to help you. Following this exact path empowers school staff to act swiftly and decisively to protect a child's welfare. Now, you might be wondering, how do educators actually get equipped with all this vital training today? Well, welcome to the modern training ground. It's a real game changer. In the past, traditional safeguarding training was honestly a massive headache. It required physical travel, taking days off work, and you were stuck with whatever localized access you had. But the Booty Guide highlights this incredible, empowering shift to online platforms. By moving the whole shebang online, we instantly get global access. We're talking about reaching educators in the UK, India, and all over the world. It completely shatters geographic borders, offering a super flexible, self-paced, and wildly cost-effective way to empower teachers everywhere. And look, this isn't just about things being more convenient, it's about seriously upgrading your capabilities. Through continuous professional development, or CPD, you're making sure your skills stay incredibly sharp. You walk away with recognized credentials that basically serve as proof of your capability as a guardian. And the self-paced aspect? I mean, that's an absolute lifesaver for busy educators who are already stretched way too thin. Plus, most importantly, the content is continuously updated to align with the latest safeguarding legislation. This digital training ground makes absolutely sure you are legally compliant, mentally prepared, and ready with the absolute best tools for modern protection. So, what's the grand finale of all this training? It's the culmination of our entire story arc, the profound transformation into a certified protector. The source material makes it crystal clear that earning this certification does way, way more than just check off some compliance box for HR. It completely transforms a standard educator into a highly employable, incredibly ethical leader. It's verified proof of your absolute dedication to that duty of care. It means you're no longer just standing at the front of a room teaching a curriculum, you are leading with immense confidence and a really deep, unwavering sense of accountability for the human beings sitting right in front of you. But let's take a step back. Who actually answers this call? Who undergoes this transformation? Well, it's actually a massive, interconnected fellowship of people. Yes, of course, it includes your traditional classroom educators and teachers, but it also loops in childcare professionals, all the incredible school staff from administrators to the support team, and even professionals working in NGOs and general care work. Basically, if your day-to-day involves working with kids or adults who are at risk, you're legally and morally bound to this exact duty. It's just an amazing, massive network of professionals out there standing guard over the vulnerable. As we near the end here, the Booty Guide issues this incredibly powerful rallying cry. It really cuts through all the logistics and strikes right at the heart of the mission. It says, start your safeguarding training now and make a lasting impact on young lives. It's such a direct, no-nonsense call to action. It reminds us that every single minute spent learning how to spot and stop abuse translates directly into a safer, fundamentally better life for a child. So there we have it. We've traced the entire journey today, from learning how to spot those unseen threats to suiting up in the armor of policy, and finally experiencing the empowering transformation of modern online training. The tools required to make educational spaces genuinely safe, they are more accessible right now than they have ever been before. So the only question left to ask yourself is this: are you ready to step up, protect, educate, and lead with true confidence?